Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, 10 minutes away from 8 o'clock. We launched Ticket Blitz Thursday. Sold out Lord tickets. You can't get these except here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So AEG Presents helped us make this happen for you. Ticket Blitz Thursday every hour starting at 8. And those tickets coming up in moments. Now, yesterday this time, we broke this story through the help of our great friends WGN TV because they kind of broke it, and we love them so much when these stories come up.
They kind of broke it. They did the whole story.
They did the whole story, and Brona Tumulty did an amazing job, just like Ben Bradley did with the Tiffany Henyard stuff for the last 2 years. And we love talking about these stories that is an injustice to the people of this area. Country Club Hills School District Superintendent, there's an update on this story of Dwayne Megan and what happened after this story broke yesterday, and you shared it, the podcast, the Brian and Kenzie podcast. You shared this, and we'll tell you what happened in a second on an update on the story. But in case you weren't here yesterday or just kind of missed this segment, here's what was going on in the Country Club Hills School District with corruption allegations, and here is the story.
It's alarming for us, and we're saying that how do we have money for that, but we don't have anything that is beneficial to our children, to our students, in order for them to academically succeed.
Sequoia Williams is a parent in Country Club Hills and says she noticed problems from the get-go last year after enrolling her children in District 160.
I found out through staff members that a lot of the school administrators were put on leave that was over at the district office due to mismanagement of finances.
And we found that very interesting because she's just new to the school district, yet a whole bunch of people are on leave when you get there. That's certainly disturbing when you move in there with your child.
How come people old to the school district didn't notice? Like, she's new. She caught on quick.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. I mean, everybody tells you you're in a good school district. Oh, yeah, buy a house over here. It's a good school district. Your kid, you got the next 18 years covered. And you go there and everybody's on leave for some reason.
Well, and even if that wasn't the case, at some point you do still have to uproot your family and move there, and you just hope that things are going to be okay, and then things turn out like this, and it just has to be absolutely devastating.
So she finds that out, and here's the story continuing.
Finances.
It seemed then the district's finances might need some scrutiny.
Love how Brona says that. It's amazing.
So we started digging into the spending habits of Superintendent Dwayne Main and the rest of the board, namely former President and current Secretary Jacqueline Doss.
Because they are absolutely both a part of the issues.
Those issues are lengthy.
Now, where do we get to these issues? You really pay attention here on these issues. It's going to bring back memories of Tiffany Henyard in Dalton.
But in just the last 2.5 years, district credit card reports in Main's name show hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on much more than just education. In fact, those reports show roughly $250,000 in charges at hotels.
$250,000 on hotels. Hotels for a school district. That's,
Interesting. I don't remember staying in a hotel when I went to school.
I don't either. I don't think I did. We did a field trip one time. We did a basketball tournament, a round-robin tournament in Dayton, Ohio. We had to go down there.
Oh, the big city.
Yeah, we stayed in like a Motel 6. I don't think it cost.
You did a field trip to play basketball in Dayton?
Well, it wasn't a field trip's the wrong word. We had a basketball tournament we went to in Dayton, Ohio for a round.
That's different. That's your team.
It was, but we stayed in a hotel, and that just brought back memories of $250,000 for hotels they're spending on God knows what. Our hotels were probably $13 a night.
It was by the hour.
No kidding.
They send high school boys to a hotel where you pay by the hour?
I saw stuff that...
They're like, nap quick.
Totally scarred me. Anyway, the story continues. So $250,000 spent on hotels.
Including the Hilton in New Orleans, the Bellagio in Vegas, and the Marriott in Atlanta.
Good choices.
Yeah. They sandwiched the Bellagio in the middle of the Hilton and the Marriott.
They did.
Woo! That should be a headline there, the first part of the story on that one. The Bellagio in Vegas.
You think we need more boots on the ground with the school board? A lot of other states they're in, instead of the one where the schools are. There can't be. What are you going to learn at the Bellagio for your school district?
What aren't you going to learn at the Bellagio?
You're going to learn about life. That's for sure.
Street smarts, not book smarts.
Yeah, I'm learning.
They're probably thinking about having I'm trying to imagine their excuse, and in my mind, their excuse was they want to do one of those gambling fundraisers,
like a casino night.
We really got to see how this operates. Really in action.
Atlanta.
They've taken sports away. They've taken like all of the extracurricular activities that our children have had. They've taken them away. And they keep telling us we don't have money.
Food-related expenses adding up to almost $130,000.
What? Food for $130,000. I know food costs have gone up. And I paid $28 for lunch yesterday.
Not that high. If I go to a restaurant tonight and they bring me that bill, we are in big trouble.
I'd like to see what happened there. You can pack a lunch in a brown bag, a ham and cheese sandwich. Get all the fixings. That could last you a week. You get bread, you get ham, you get cheese.
You could go out for a really nice dinner and not rack out those kind of bills.
Yeah,
I think they made it rain on the waitress.
$130,000 with countless payments to DoorDash and Uber Eats. $3,500 spent at Cooper's Hawk in Orland.
Oh, there's Cooper's Hawk getting mentioned in Orland Park.
The Coopsters in Orland.
Yesterday when we played this, I didn't realize the bill was $3,500.
Yeah.
That's one dinner, right?
That's one dinner.
Woo!
That's insane.
The place is delicious.
Possible.
Well, they have great wine.
Cooper's Hawk, yeah, but it's not like Cooper's Hawk isn't a bad deal. It's not like, oh, we're gonna break. Like, it's actually a good deal to go out and eat there.
Was that 48 people? You think of all the whole school board and their friends and families?
And their friends and families.
Well, because in the school district, there's only 3 schools, so there can't be that many board members.
You know what? There can't be this much money. It's only 3 schools. This is a big problem.
I definitely think they went down. That wine's good on the menu. What do you got in the basement? What do you got in the cellar down there?
Let me see the archives.
Can I get a 1412 French rosé? What's that cost? $3,000. Bring that out. Bring that out for the school board
That's kind
people.
of what we're feeling tonight.
Yeah.
What's the seal on one of your collectibles?
Cork the Kendall Jackson. Okay, bring out the good stuff.
Our
This is
school
adding
scores
up
went
to
up 0.1, so we really deserve it.
$3,500.
Almost $130,000 with countless payments to DoorDash and Uber Eats.
Back a little too far.
$3,500 spent at Cooper's Hawk in Orland Park, and thousands more at high-end steakhouses from DC to Napa. The cost of getting to and from the likes of those restaurants and resorts climbing to almost $70,000 in airline charges, with occasional perks like onboard Wi-Fi and upgrades to TSA pre-check.
I don't pay for onboard Wi-Fi on the plane.
Listen, these are business-oriented people. They don't want to miss an email.
That's right.
Respect that.
That's right. These people need to be on call.
God forbid.
I am pretty sure it's because they're working really hard, not because they're streaming shows, Brian. How dare you?
They're buying the
dare
Wi-Fi,
you.
catching up on White
I was
Lotus on
just
the
about to say,
plane.
if you ask these people, they're going to go, please don't spoil White Lotus for me. I'm not caught up. I've been working so hard.
Exactly.
While they're watching White Lotus, emails are coming in saying
You gotta feel bad for them. Like, they are on a plane and they can't even relax.
Yeah.
They're working so hard.
so difficult.
And upgrades to TSA pre-check.
Oh, they got pre-check too. That's good.
Well, we gotta get to the gate quickly. We gotta take off. We gotta help the kids.
You leave your shoes on in TSA pre.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You can leave them on anywhere now.
That rule changed now, but they already spent the money for the TSA
what's
pre
the
now.
point of pre now?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh.
All that could be the tip of the iceberg. Both DOS and Maine declined our interview requests via email, and we've since...
Because they didn't have the Wi-Fi going on the plane.
They're like, what do you want from us? You don't want us to buy the Wi-Fi? You want us to buy the Wi-Fi? Good Lord.
Yeah, didn't get that email on the
sorry. I can't make anybody happy.
the last United flight in from the Bellagio. I didn't have my email working on the plane. Sorry.
requests via email, and we've since tried again in person.
It's Bro now at WGN. I spoke with him briefly beforehand. He said he would talk to us in the interims. And what about you, Miss Das? Can you speak with us?
I already told you no comment.
Okay, but we are trying to get interviews with you to get your side of the story because there's expense reports.
No comment.
There's almost $9,000
No
in charges
comment. No
at the
comment.
Bellagio.
No comment.
No comment. Okay, Mr. Mean, have you ever stayed at the Bellagio? Do you know there's $20,000, more than $20,000 in hotel charges for December of 2024 alone?
That door sounds like a fake sound effect.
It really
It
does.
doesn't sound like a real
It
door.
really does.
Listen how good that door sounds slamming in her face, this poor girl.
No.
It's alarming.
Do you think that he is like, how dare you? I was never treated like this at the Bellagio. How dare you?
Yep.
No.
Very similar to no comments to the Tiffany Henyard situation.
Trustee Jerry Jones was on that first-class trip to New York.
Still don't have a comment.
Sir, you're a trustee.
Well, once again, I don't have a comment.
What are you going to do?
Learn from the best. Well, we have a huge update with this. First off, WGN's Brona Tumulty is going to be on the show tomorrow at this time to talk more about this story. and say how you, sharing the podcast, the Brian and Kenzie podcast, talking about this or their story, helped make this next thing happen.
Woo!
Here's another. So she's on tomorrow. Love her. Can't wait to have her on tomorrow at 7:50.
8:20 tomorrow.
8:20. I'm sorry. 8:20. This time now. We talked about it yesterday, 7:50.
Reset your alarm. You jacked up everyone's day.
Yeah,
now.
sorry.
Everybody
Everybody's
set your
saving.
alarm. 8:20 tomorrow is when we'll get an update from her.
I didn't have my Wi-Fi on the plane over here. I missed that email that it's 8:20 and not 7:50.
You flew to work today?
I did. Also, another great update on you sharing the podcast of Brian and Kenzie and sharing this news. Country Club Hills School District 160 Superintendent Dwayne Meehan has been suspended. He's been suspended and is expected to run 10 days at the end of the month. Suspended without pay, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I think he's got enough money.
I'm sure he's got a fund like Tony Soprano somewhere in the vents in his house.
He's like, joke's on you. You've been paying me double for years.
So there was a fight at the school district 2 nights ago, and this led to some of this happening. So he has been suspended without pay, the Country Club Hills School District 160 superintendent. We'll find out more tomorrow with the breaking news at 8:20.
We'll see. The whole thing could just be a really big misunderstanding.
Sure.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Lord for Ticket Blitz Thursday, and Jesse checked in from Hammond and said, what was that keyword again? That's how I read the text with that kind of tone. Green to 312-591-8300 for you, Jesse and Hammond, and all your friends in Hammond, and everybody in a 100-mile radius of Hammond. You can definitely text green to 312-591-8300 for your chance to win those tickets. You got the whole hour, a new keyword coming at 9, so do it. That sold-out show at the UC. A reminder, we just talked about the Country Club Hills situation and some funny text coming in. 630 said, sports are canceled in Country Club Hills because they spent the budget on the new EA Sports bundle for the NCAA football 2016. That's where it all went. That's where the money went. We'll have Brona on tomorrow, Brona Tumulty from WGN-TV at 8:20 to tell us more about the suspension of the superintendent and where that story's going. You made this happen by sharing the podcast from yesterday's show and getting that news out there to a story that just kind of broke in the last 24 hours from WGN-TV.
That Irish accent is going to be on this show. It's going to be really fun.
Pretty cool, adding a new repertoire to the show.
Yeah, we lack Irish representation on this show. I've been saying this for months now.
Well, we have our, the normal white people, Irish people, like my wife from America.
What do you mean by that?
Well, no accent. She has a Philly accent.
Yes, she does.
And we have a true Irish accent. My wife's 100% Irish, but she doesn't have the accent. We got Brona on. She's got the accent.
The real deal.
The real deal.
None
Authentic.
Of this phony Irish stuff.
Don't call my wife phony. All right, here we go. And also tomorrow at this time to remind you, Keisha's movie review, the tragic passing of Michael Madsen last week. Really sad. And he's doing Reservoir Dogs. The movie that already got recommended a ton after you watched Pulp Fiction anyway.
Of course.
It's the movie before Pulp Fiction that Quentin Tarantino did his first directorial movie. Incredible, disturbing. You certainly will never hear Stuck in the Middle again the same way. Case, I'm giving you a warning on that before you watch it.
I can't wait. I've never seen it before. I love Pulp Fiction last year, one of the most brilliant pieces of film I've ever seen. I've had to hold off on watching all of the other Tarantino movies because I want to watch them for this show. And with the passing of Michael Madsen, I'm going to go home today, fire up Reservoir Dogs. The only thing I know about it is that guys in this movie wear suits. I look forward to seeing what the actual movie is about. And at 8 o'clock tomorrow, we'll break that all down.
It's going to ruin you a little bit, this movie, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah, in a good way and a bad way. There's some things you won't be able to
forget. How's it going to ruin me in a good way?
I guess you can't get ruined any worse at this point. So a good way. You're going to see a great piece of film. That's the good way. So we'll have that for you tomorrow at 8. Case's movie review, Reservoir Dogs. It's Jack White. Had a big birthday yesterday. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.